Indryas, portals to presence. Now I'd like you all to take a look at the image on the screen. Now I'd like you to focus on the mouth. And if you're talking in the back because of the topic, if you could take your conversation out, that would be greatly appreciated. So I'd like you to focus on the mouth with the juicy strawberry. And once you feel this image is imprinted on your smriti, your memory, please close your eyes. Now imagine there's a basket of freshly washed strawberries. You picked a ripe strawberry from the basket. Go ahead, pick up that strawberry. You bring that strawberry to your lips. Take a breath. Now breathe in and smell that ripe strawberry. Now open your mouth and take a bite. You can feel and hear yourself take that bite. The juicy strawberry hits your tongue and drips down your bottom lip, making this a whole sensory experience. Now, keeping your eyes closed, just give me a thumbs up if you were able to engage at least one of your senses. Go ahead and put your thumbs down. Now open your eyes. Now I'd like you to focus on the image of the hand as the water drips off of the fingers after submerging them in the beautiful stream below. Now, once you feel this image is imprinted in your smriti, your memory, close your eyes. Now imagine you're walking in the lovely green valley on a warm summer day, and you hear a stream flowing nearby. As you walk further, you see a flowing stream of water. Walking closer, you desire to touch the water, hoping the temperature is cooling. As you kneel on the ground, you gently submerge your hands into the cool stream. Lifting your hands out of the water, you observe with joy the cool droplets as they drip from your fingertips. Now take those cooling wet hands and rub them on your face to cool you down on that warm summer day. Now take a deep breath and you notice the scent of water with a hint of earth behind it. Now give me a thumbs up if this was a whole sensory experience. Now go ahead and open your eyes. Stay with me. One more. Now go ahead and focus on the eyes. Look at the eyes that have tears flowing. And once you feel that this image is imprinted in your smriti, your memory, close your eyes. Now imagine you have been away for many, many years. Maybe away with work, maybe school, maybe family. And during travel, you're walking in a crowd of people. keeping to yourself, alone with your thoughts, you happen to look up, and across the way is your dearest friend that you have not seen in so very long. Your heart fills with joy and gratitude, and also recognizes how much you have missed that connection and that companionship. Your eyes fill with tears of longing to connect with that friend, and the joy of serendipitously running into them. You run to greet them with a warm embrace as you allow those tears to flow. You both take a big inhale together, and you exhale. Now give me a thumbs up if you were able to connect with this experience. Now you may open your eyes. This is the power of your mind. I simply threw up a picture of the 5 Indryas, the sense organs, and suggested how to use them based on their Indriya arthas, sense objects, while you used your Indriya of sight. The power of suggestion and imagination for effect, using your Indriya of hearing. This knowledge was then taken in by manas, mind, screened by buddhi, intellect, and atma, the soul, to ensure correct and comprehensive perception. All of this is known as Indriya Artha Sanikosha. Now, this fun and practical exercise gave you a positive experience. At least I hope it did. And we created a very palpable state of presence, both individually and collectively, in about 5 minutes. So how do we bring presence and a positive experience into a predominantly fear-based world? Much of the news, social media, some religions et al. Focus on fear as a control mechanism. Fear is the root emotion in trauma and adverse life experiences. When one is stuck in fear, it prevents them from listening within to their inner innate wisdom, because they're scanning for danger outside of themselves, or worse, they're completely crippled by it. I'm speaking not only from professional experience, but also from my personal experience. You see, fear has this quality of keeping one small and disempowered, and it lacks presence. The news has paralyzed this woman. She's no longer looking at the screen. She's clearly in the what if reel that is playing in her mind. She's eaten her meal in front of the news. She will go to sleep with that impression. And who knows if she has any adverse life experiences. I mean, nowadays, most people do. Or previous traumas that may have been triggered through what? The Indryas. And if she does have past traumas, she now has a double whammy of previous trauma that was activated through the Indryas, along with current adverse life experience from simply the choice that she made. She chose to turn on the TV, and she chose to watch the news. Our dharma as Ayurvedic counselors, practitioners, doctors, and vaidyas is to teach the opposite quality than what is depicted here. But again, how? With an overstimulation of the Indriyas at an all-time high, we see a rise in Ati Yoga, Ayoga, and Mithya Yoga, alongside artificial light and processed food. As a result, we are witnessing a significant increase in mental imbalances, disrupting our relationship with self. Now more than ever, it is time to educate and train on the power of the Indryas, the portals to presence. We need conscious living. Maintaining control over the Indryas is viewed as a form of wealth in Ayurveda, leading to a healthy and long life. It encourages mindful living by becoming actively aware of sensory experiences. It's the reason I took you through this experience. It was to become actively aware of your sensory experience. But in order to do so, we had to 1, slow down, 2, I mindfully chose the words that evoked your imagination, and we needed the power of your mind and activating the sense organs, the Indryas, which created food for your mind. A great deal of awareness was built into this entire experience, making it fun and practical. Why? Because experience is the highest form of knowledge. If we can give our clients, yogis, and patients an experience, and that experience leaves an imprint in their smriti, their memory, they are more likely to practice it, especially if it gives them all the good feelings, which is what we want, that opposite quality of the emotions than what they might be experiencing in other areas of their life. Indeed, a different experience than what they might be experiencing in the news, their social media feed, or any negative life experience or traumas from the past. And how did I create that experience for you? Through the Indryas, the portals to presence. They play a massive role in how we feel. Many of you know that I used to struggle with flashbacks. I speak about this in great detail in my best-selling book, Abundance Beyond Trauma. Once I realized that the Indryas were the gateway to triggering those flashbacks, I just had to reverse engineer it to get the opposite experience. But I also needed new experiences. And once I began mastering my Indryas and gave them new experiences, my manas came into balance and the flashbacks subsided. Now, you could do something similar to help your clients understand the power of imagery, what they are ingesting through their Indryas and how it influences their minds. Notice the difference between those first 2 slides that I put up. When we slow down and focus, we become present. The Indryas are the interface between inner consciousness and the external world. They gather info and allow interaction with the environment. They're crucial for being present in the physical realm. They're the source of soul to perceive true and comprehensive knowledge. So how many of you have heard the term, come to your senses? There's wisdom to this. It originated in the 17th century from the literal meaning to regain consciousness after a swoon or trance, where senses referred to the physical ability to perceive the world. Now, over time, the meaning expanded to include a return to mental clarity, rational thought, and sensible behavior, becoming a widespread idiom by the mid-1800s for anyone recovering from foolish or unreasonable actions. Now, we know that in the world of Ayurveda, this wisdom of the senses originated way before the 17th century. I felt it relevant here because most people use Sage Google, and the layman has yet to learn about Sage Vagbhata and Sage Charaka. I enjoy bringing awareness to my clients that while Sage Google may have answers, one day I hope that the search engine will pull from the ancient texts, showing the integrity of Ayurveda. As Ayurvedic practitioners, we must suggest practical practices that cultivate presence and awareness of the Indryas to sharpen their use, creating portals to presence and health, as they offer a direct and immediate connection to the present moment. This allows the cultivation of awareness, mindfulness, and a deeper connection to oneself and surrounding. We need practices that increase mental sadvriti, that reduce anxiety and stress, promote emotional regulation, and most importantly, can be practiced anywhere. And this is one of my favorites that I like to do with my 5 grandchildren and the children at the Boys and Girls Club of America. This is called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. And this is where one identifies 5 things they can see, 4 things they can touch, 3 things they can hear, 2 things they can smell, and 1 thing that they can taste. This method creates significant change for the individual, guiding one towards presence, because it changes their internal environment, but it will eventually change the home environment. When we change the home environment, we change communities. When we change communities, we change the world. But it begins with self-awareness. Sharpening the Indriyas also creates the possibility for one to move into more advanced practices, such as pratyahara, where one withdraws from the Indriyas to cultivate internal awareness and access intuition. However, that does require prior understanding of the Indriyas. So now we're going to do this practice. So now I would like you to identify 5 things that you can see. When you've identified those 5 things, allow it to imprint in your smriti, and then look back up at me so I know you have completed that. Go ahead and do that. Yes. Now this next one, make it fun. 4 things to touch. Allow it to imprint, and then look back up at me when you're finished. So touch 4 things. Come on, let your inner child play. Touch 4 things. That's good. I love the giggles. Keep it going.
So you're actually touching, or you just imagine?
No, you're actually touching. This is a sensory experience. Yeah. Yep. Very good. Yes, love this. You're starting to see now why children love this one. Now this next one, I am going to ask you to close your eyes. 3 things that you can hear. Keeping your eyes closed. 2 things that you can smell. And finally, 1 thing that you can taste. And when you're finished, you can open your eyes. Your senses are a guide. Your senses are sacred, excuse me. Your mind is a guide. Your healing begins within. You're not broken. You're out of rhythm. Let's bring you back into balance gently from the inside out. My name is Janine Rashidi. I have overcome PTSD. Ayurveda was a part of that journey. And I specialize in Sattva Avijaya Chikitsa. And if you'd like to find out more about how I work with others, you can check out goodbytension.com. And thank you for staying present with me through this exercise.
that statement about the 5 grandchildren? Was that correct?
I think that was the part
Yeah, that's the
everybody
part
was
where we like
I have a question.
5 grandchildren.
Janine, I have a question from you.
for you. Let's go.
I have a question, please.
So, is it a child married?
Yeah.
They were my 5 biological grandchildren. So I was a teen mother. That is how I became a young
So I
grandmother.
was going to ask about this only. Where do we get the magic potion which can help us look like you with 5 grandchildren?
Ayurvedic skincare.
Thank you.
Sorry.